Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out with Jack Massey. Jack, we were just saying there off camera, it's been a while, speaking to you of course, but also seeing you in the ring. What's the latest with yourself?
It's been a while, yeah. I'm still in the gym, still training, still ticking over. Hopefully get a fight date soon. Kevin was on the phone to me at the weekend, so we're chipping away at a few things, try to get a date, get back out there, and then look for something big again.
Is it a point where the time out you particularly enjoyed, or just felt the want now to get back in the ring?
Yeah, I've enjoyed myself, but yeah, like I said, I've been in the gym though, I've been ticking over. I've not been out and just put loads of weight on and this and that. So I've been ticking over, but yeah, I want to get back in there and get a win and then get the ball rolling again.
In terms of your own mission statement, in your own words, what would it be? What would you want by the end of the year?
Another world title shot, definitely. I believe there's guys out there who've got world titles that I can beat, and we'll hopefully get out, get a win, like I say, and then look for a shot, look for a big shot.
There's one name that's kind of been thrown about this gym whenever I've spoke to Joe, that being that you want Chris Billam-Smith.
Yeah.
Obviously he's now tied up with Glanton, but do you feel that that's a fight you can get before the end of the year?
Yeah, definitely. We'll look at that fight. We'll get down to watch it if we're not on the undercard. So we'll all eyes on that fight. It's a tough fight though for Chris, but I believe he can beat Brandon and come through. So that's definitely a fight we'll be looking to make this year. That's if he takes it.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of that part, obviously you feel like, from your point of view, you're willing and you got your foot forward to take it, but the other side you feel don't want that fight. Why do you feel that is?
To be honest, he put a statement out, couple of months ago saying he only wants world level fights, and then a couple of days later it's on social media that he's fighting Brandon. I won't really class him as world level. But I know, I get it. He's looking up, he's looking above, and we're both looking above. But I think the fight needs to be made. We're both in a very similar position, and I think if we both want to get back in there and fight for a world title, I think we both, need to fight each other and give the fans what they want. It's a great fight. It's a very, very tasty fight. So I think we should get it on.
Yeah, I'd love to see that fight in the future. And a lot of boxing fans in the Cruiserweight division want to see the fight between Opetaia and Zurdo Ramirez. You fought one of them. If that fight does get made, who do you feel gets the hands raised?
I don't think Opetaia has any difficulty in that fight. I think it's a nice steady win for him, to be honest. I know it's another southpaw fighting another southpaw, but I don't think he'll have any trouble at all. I think he'll stop him.
There's another Cruiserweight fight we were looking forward to that was in the form of Vidal Riley and Isaac Chamberlain. But Isaac Chamberlain has since pulled out of that fight and in steps in Chev Clark. But first of all, the prospect of Vidal Riley and Isaac Chamberlain, which is a grudge match between the two of them, disappointed that it's not happening?
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed. I was Chamberlain's one of them. He tests you, see what you're all about, and everyone's talking about Vidal, and it would have been nice to see what he's really about, step up and fight Chamberlain. But yeah, it's another good fight. Chev Clark, so that'll be good to see, and see what them two guys are made of. Up and coming lads.
Would you, talking about obviously Chris looking for like a higher level, but would you be interested in dipping down if the opportunity came, if money was there and it meant that it'd be something guaranteed on the end of it? Would you dip back into the domestic scene, or do you feel like you've done that?
I feel like I've done it. I had my medical last week, and it was a bit of a flashback for me. I've been in the game 12 years this year, and I've always been the one to say yes. Do you know what I mean? I've always been the one to be chasing someone else and wanting fights. Been given fights, and I've said yes. You can't take that away from me, and what's the point in dropping down? I fought at world level, and I think when you fight at that such a big level, I've lost to not just a world champion, an elite world champion. I believe I should stay at that level and fight at that level. I've had the experience now, and that's where I believe I'm meant to stay. So,
how do you feel your fight with Joe Parker should be viewed, since he's gone on to keep climbing the ladder? He's since knocked out Martin Bakole. Was supposed to fight Daniel Dubois, but he's now looking at either Dubois or Usyk if he can get those opportunities. So how do you feel that kind of, or boxing fans should view you and your fight with him?
I think it was all the experience from fighting me. He's gone on to beat everyone else. No, but he's just going through everyone like a wrecking ball, and I seen he put a video out. Was it this morning calling Eubank out, and that's a great fight. You know, I was looking forward to seeing him and Dubois, but you know, Eubank and Parker, it's a great fight too. You know, Parker's a little bit smaller than most of Usyc's last opponents. You know, a bit lighter on his feet, a bit faster. So I think that'll be a tasty fight. It'll be a good fight. Be interesting.
Do you think he would have beaten Dubois?
It's a tough one to call. Very tough one to call. You know, like Joe and more for Joe, but it is it's a tough one. But who knows until they get in there. You know, I don't like making decisions unless the fight's actually been made. But
last couple of things, Jack, and I'll let you go. A big fight coming up in the form of Eubank Jr versus Conor Benn. Got a lot of the boxing fans and boxing pundits talking. What do you think about the egg slap and the fight happening as well too?
You know, it all makes it, doesn't it? If you look at it from the egg slap, if you look at it from a casual point, you know, it brought a lot of casual eyes onto it, even though it's got a lot of eyes on it already. You know, just go into the shops or wherever. A lot of people are talking about it after that. Got a lot of people talking about the fight, and it's little things like that. I know some people say there's no place in boxing for it, but at the end of the day, it's entertainment, isn't it? At the end of the day, that's what boxing is. It's to entertain people, and you know, most of the time, it's when some of these big fights and some what aren't so, that actual fight itself aren't so big. They have to do a bit more before it. You know, I was looking at some of the Mayweather and McGregor build up. You know, the build up for that. It's one of the best build ups I've ever seen. But the fight wasn't great itself. I knew it was never going to be the best fight in the world. But watching the build up, it was great, and it got a lot of eyes on the fight, and everyone wanted to watch it. But it's I think sometimes it's the entertainment purposes. It's quite funny, but the fight itself, I think Eubank beats him.
How does he do it?
I think it's either points or a late stoppage. I just think he's too big and strong for Ben.
Even with the rehydration clause limiting him?
Yeah, I don't really believe in that myself. But you know, if you want to step up and fight someone at a certain weight, there shouldn't be that in place. But yeah, I still think he beats him.
Tasha, obviously on the end of a defeat against Lauren Price, she's now got to consider where she stands in the sport. Just speaking to Joe, that she's on holiday, she's probably beating herself up a little bit about the defeat, but just a word on her and what you think her future might be.
Yeah, who knows? It's it's up to Tasha to decide that. You know what she wants to do with it in the future. You know she's she's great at whatever she puts her hands to. But you know it wasn't her night on the night, and it's up to her to come back in the gym and see what it's about, if she's still got the feel for it or whatever. But I think she can personally get another big fight. But it's up to her and Joe to make that decision, and best of luck to her in the future. She's like I say, whatever she puts hands to, whether it's punditry or whatever she goes on to do after, it's she'll be successful. So.
Last thing, of course, Joe came out and let the public know about his stage 4 cancer. Just what was the reaction in the gym and supporting him through his cancer battle? Yeah,
it was tough. It was a very, very tough thing for obviously Joe going through that, and it's a horrible thing, and you never wish it on anyone, and it's just horrible, isn't it? It's the old C word. It's not nice. We've all got to be there for Joe, and I think the best thing is seeing Joe just carry on as normal. I think that's probably the best thing for him to do. He'll just carry on as normal, doing what he's doing. He's got to be careful not to tire himself out. We've got the lads helping out as well, Macaulay and Marcus, but when Joe can't be here, but it's nasty. But we're all in high hopes, and hopefully we're all behind him, and I reckon he can pull through this.
Absolutely, Jack. Much appreciated. Thanks for being to Seconds Out. Looking forward to seeing you back in the ring very soon.
Appreciate it.